You could be having the absolute worst day of your life, but when someone asks, "How are you?" you still say, "I'm fine." We all do it. We smile, we nod, we pretend, because that's what you're supposed to do. There is this immense, unspoken pressure to act like we are in control, like we know where we're going, what we're doing, and what we're talking about. Because society doesn't reward honesty or uncertainty, it rewards confidence. We are terrified of appearing weak, and in a world that moves so fast, admitting uncertainty feels like a liability. Like if we admit that we're lost, means we failed. We wear these masks to avoid judgment. We play a character that puts together a version of ourselves, because being real can sometimes lead to being misunderstood, disliked, or even alone. When we were kids, we looked up at adults, our parents, our teachers, and thought they had it all figured out. We thought they had a manual to life that we just hadn't received yet. But now that we are adults ourselves, we realize the terrifying truth. They didn't know either. The doctor is guessing, the CEO is winging it, the politician is reading from a script. No one truly knows everything about their field, and certainly not about the complex mess of life. We put on facades depending on who we are with. At work, with family, with friends, online, different versions of you show up. It's not always malicious. Often, it's a survival tactic. We're all just playing characters that society rewards. Even celebrities do it. Their lives are carefully curated, their public image is constructed, and we compare our messy, behind-the-scenes lives to somebody else's carefully edited performance. Most of our daily interactions are just us improvising. We make decisions with incomplete information. We make mistakes, we change our minds, we pretend to know what we're doing and hope we figure it out along the way. And sometimes we even lie to ourselves just to get through the day. But maybe pretending isn't always a bad thing. Think about it. How did you learn to walk? You copied others. How did you learn to speak? You mimic sounds. We learn by copying other people. And sometimes, pretending to be something can eventually lead you to becoming it. You act confident long enough and you become more confident. If you pretend to be a writer and you write every day, eventually, you are a writer. When you repeat something long enough, it can become real. There's a reason the phrase "fake it till you make it" exists. The important thing is figuring out what kind of pretending is helping you grow and what kind is keeping you trapped. Because there's a difference between pretending to be the person you want to become and pretending to be someone you're not just to make other people comfortable. Life often rewards action more than intelligence. The person who sounds confident can sometimes be taken more seriously than a person who's actually more informed. If you sound convincing enough, people might believe you even when you're completely wrong. And that's dangerous. Because nobody truly knows everything. Not you, not me, not even the professionals. Someone can spend their entire life studying a subject and still have unanswered questions. Yet we're constantly pressured to have an opinion on everything. Politics, science, relationships, money, health, technology, every event happening in the world. We're expected to have a take. But how could we? We can't be informed about everything. And sometimes, the most intelligent thing you can say is, "I don't know." There's nothing embarrassing about that. In fact, admitting you don't know something creates room to actually learn. Ego does the opposite. Ego makes us cling to positions we barely understand. Sometimes people become so attached to an opinion that changing their mind feels impossible, even when they're presented with new information, even when they're proven wrong. Because admitting you were wrong can feel like admitting that you're stupid, but being wrong doesn't make you stupid. Refusing to learn from being wrong does. Sometimes it's better to give no advice than to give someone advice about something you know nothing about. It's better to say, "I don't know enough about this," than to confidently give someone the wrong answer. It is more courageous to admit ignorance than to pretend to know everything. And sometimes, people believe things simply because they want them to be true, because something resonates with them, because it makes them feel understood. And there's nothing wrong with being drawn to an idea, but feeling something doesn't automatically make it true. We should be willing to question even the things we desperately want to believe, because if we're constantly pretending that we know, we'll never give ourselves a chance to learn. So let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. Stop worrying about looking foolish. Embrace the uncertainty. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know all the answers. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to be honest enough to grow and brave enough to act. And if you're going to pretend to be the person you want to become. Keep acting, keep trying, keep moving forward. Because eventually, the person you're pretending to be won't be a character anymore. It'll just be you.